Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live session. So, today I'm going to talk about 5 intimacy tips I wish that I had known earlier. Intimacy is a journey, right? And you have to take small steps to build it up slowly with whoever you have your relationship with. And so, uh, our parents don't tell us anything about intimacy or sex, or they don't give us the right education. They don't tell us what to anticipate, what might happen with us, and what are the things that we need to take care of. So, I just wanted to do this session where I wanted to say that it is so important to know a few things before you start building your journey of intimacy with a partner. So, here are 5 things that I think would matter a lot if we knew them beforehand. The first thing is the power of open communication. So, you should talk to your partner about anything and everything that is coming up. Slowly, as you get to know each other, you start having more conversations. At first, there are some hesitations. You don't know whether you can trust that person completely or not. But slowly and steadily, you start understanding each other. You start building that relationship, and it becomes comfortable where you can trust your partner, where you have a safe space and you can tell your partner about your fears, your desires, what uh, your dreams are, your aspirations are, and all that starts building up. And that's the first thing. That communication is extremely important. So don't stop the channel of communication. Is something which I always tell all my clients and on all my live sessions, that keep communicating with each other. The second thing I wish I had known was that quality time matters. It's not the quantity of time, it's not how many hours you spend with each other. It is how many minutes in those hours had that quality where you were connecting with each other, where you were talking to each other, where you were sharing a moment of warmth or emotion with each other. So that is what matters, quality time. Like, for example, a client of mine, which I'm now currently coaching, they started scheduling date nights, with each other. And they just focus solely on each other. They kept away all the distractions, and now they've started to build up that relationship. It is helping them to connect at a much deeper level. And this simple practice is very effective, believe me. And it's just adding another level of intimacy and connection in their lives. So, quality time is important. Whether you sit down, have a nice talk, you take a walk on the beach hand in hand, you hug each other, you cuddle, you just stay in bed with each other, bodies touching each other, those quality times are important. The third thing, which I wish I had known, was that I should have embraced my vulnerability much sooner. So, being vulnerable is something which takes time to happen. By the time you start connecting with the person, you build that trust, and then you start learning to be vulnerable with that person, where you can share your innermost desires, fears, anything in the past that has bothered you. So you learn to be vulnerable with someone, because when we are vulnerable, we are not at our weakest, but rather we are giving that person um, that example that we trust them so much that we are sharing our innermost things, with them, our deepest fears, desires. And so when that happens, that can be a beautiful thing. So don't feel scared about being vulnerable. Learn to be vulnerable, but only with the person with whom you have built that trust. Take time building that trust, and once that trust is built, then go all out and be vulnerable. Point number 4, which I wish I had known, was that physical touch and affection are very, very crucial in a relationship. So, when you start building a relationship with a partner, you should never underestimate the power of physical touch. The little hugs, the kisses, saying goodbye as the person is leaving for work, giving them a peck, a hug, welcoming them with warm, messages, sending them appreciation, and just using that physical touch whenever you get a chance. Because physical touch releases oxytocin, which is called the love hormone, and that strengthens your bond. So, I started teaching this to one of my clients, and they started incorporating it into their daily lives. And slowly, steadily, the routine of both of them has changed so much, and they both feel more loved and connected with each other. So that was tip number 4. And tip number 5, I think this is something which is so important to know, that it is a journey of growth and learning. Intimacy is not a destination. You have to keep building it up. When it's a new relationship, you start afresh. You are slowly connecting with your partner. You're learning things about them, learning things about each other. You also rediscover a lot of yourself when you are going on that journey. And then you um, understand that as you keep taking the steps towards intimacy, it is a growth process. It keeps happening slowly, steadily. You learn about your partner, yourself, and you keep adapting to maintain a very healthy and intimate relationship. So, this commitment towards growth should always be there so that you can keep progressing and keep working towards your intimacy and your journey. I hope someone in my life would have shared these 5 tips with me, and I'm sure from the start it would have helped a lot. But this is what I learned in my journey of intimacy, and I'm sharing it with you. So remember that intimacy is not something that will just happen out of the blues. It is a journey, it takes time to build up. So by being open with each other, talking to each other, spending quality time with each other, being vulnerable, committing to your continuous growth, and then showing physical affection to each other, you can build a very strong intimate bond with your partner. It is never too late to start implementing these things in your life, even though you might be newly married, married for 10 years, married for 20 years. It doesn't matter. These things still apply. It will always stay fresh if you keep doing these things and keep working on your journey of intimacy. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I shall keep sharing more videos like that. Tomorrow, I shall see you on a new live in Hindi. So let's stay connected and do share your comments and let me know how do you connect with your partner and what is the tip which resonated with you. So take care of yourself and have a lovely weekend.